Hi, I'm Marvin of the Party, and you're watching Oakland County Norml News.
I'm Mikey Evans, and this is the Oakland Norml News for October 3rd, 2007. Happy birthday, Mom. Harvest season, deer season, wabbit season. Stay along for the ride, folks. It's going to be a good show. Associated Press, September 26, out of Portland, Oregon. 2 provisions of the U.S. Patriot Act are unconstitutional because they allow search warrants to be issued without a showing of probable cause, a federal judge ruled today. U.S. District Judge Ann Aiken ruled that the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, as amended by the Patriot Act, now allows the executive branch of government to conduct surveillance and searches of American citizens without satisfying the probable cause requirements of the Fourth Amendment. Portland attorney Brandon Mayfield sought the ruling in a lawsuit against the federal government after he was mistakenly linked by the FBI to the Madrid train bombings that killed 191 people in 2004. The federal government apologized and settled part of the lawsuit for $2 million after admitting a fingerprint was misread. But as part of the settlement, Mayfield retained the right to challenge parts of the Patriot Act, which greatly expanded the authority of law enforcement to investigate suspected acts of terrorism. Mayfield claimed that secret searches of his house and office under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act violated the Fourth Amendment's guarantee against unreasonable search and seizure. Aiken agreed with Mayfield, repeatedly criticizing the government. For over 200 years, this nation has adhered to the rule of law, with unparalleled success. A shift to a nation based on extra-constitutional authority is prohibited as well as ill-advised, she wrote. By asking her to dismiss Mayfield's lawsuit, the judge said the U.S. Attorney General's office was asking this court to, in essence, amend the Bill of Rights, by giving it an interpretation that would deprive it of any real meaning. This court declines to do so. We thank Judge Aiken for this groundbreaking decision. We'll be right back after this brief message.
Hi, this is Willie Nelson for Norml. For 30 years, Norml has provided a voice for the millions of Americans who smoke marijuana responsibly. In Canada, medicinal use of marijuana is already legal. Now the Canadian government has announced that they will soon stop arresting marijuana smokers altogether. We can learn much from our neighbors to the north. To learn how you can help, contact Norml at www.norml.org.
Welcome back. This story is a follow-up to an earlier story this year about Edward Sanchez, a cop who stole marijuana to make brownies and then called 911. Let's listen to the audio one more time.
I think we're dying.
Okay, how much did you guys have?
I don't know. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. I really do. Time is going by really slow.
Was it a big batch, a little batch?
It was a quarter ounce.
Okay, but brownie-wise, how many pieces do you guys think you guys had?
I don't know. I probably had like a small chunk. Please come.
Do you guys do this on a regular basis?
No, this is the first time we've ever done it. What's the score in the Red Wings game?
What?
What's the score in the Red Wings game?
I've got no clue. I don't watch the Red Wings.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure this isn't some type of like hallucination that I'm having.
And now, for the story. Monday, September 24th, 2007. Former Dearborn cop charged with eating pot brownie. The Detroit News. A former Dearborn police corporal who allegedly phoned 911 while hallucinating after eating a marijuana brownie was charged with a misdemeanor today, Wayne County prosecutors said. Edward Sanchez, 30, and Stacy Sanchez, 27, both of Dearborn Heights, each face a misdemeanor controlled substance charge that could jail them for 90 days or fine them $100. Sanchez allegedly phoned 911 on April 26, 2006 to say he and his wife had a bad reaction to a marijuana brownie. He resigned May 23, 2006, according to the prosecutors. This is an example of why the use of marijuana for recreational purposes can be dangerous and costly, Worthy said in a written release. The fact that he was a corporal responsible for taking drugs off the street is what makes this situation worse. What makes this situation worse is this scumbag stole drugs, then he used those drugs, and then not knowing what he was doing and having no legal recourse or anybody legally to call, he was forced to dial 911 and make an ass of himself publicly. Arrangements have been made for the pair to turn themselves in and face arraignment in the 20th District Court in Dearborn Heights. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Willie Nelson for Norml. For 30 years, Norml has provided a voice for the millions of Americans who smoke marijuana responsibly. Thousands of sick and dying patients find marijuana effective as a medicine, including cancer, MS, and AIDS patients. 9 states have legalized its use. To learn how you can help, contact Norml at www.norml.org or call toll-free at 888-67-NORML.
Welcome back. This story is from the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. It's a wake-up call to all you stoners out there who haven't sent your money in, who don't march, and who won't come out of the growing closet to admit you smoke pot. So what? September 24th, 2007, Washington, D.C. National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Police arrested a record 829,625 persons for marijuana violations in 2006, according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Annual Uniform Crime Report. This is the largest total number of annual arrests for pot ever recorded by the FBI. Marijuana arrests now comprise nearly 44% of all drug arrests in the United States. These numbers belie the myth that police do not target and arrest minor marijuana offenders, said Norml Executive Director Alan St. Pierre, who noted that at current rates, a marijuana smoker is arrested every 38 seconds in America. This effort is a tremendous waste of criminal justice resources that diverts law enforcement personnel away from focusing on serious and violent crime, including the war on terrorism. Of those charged with marijuana violations, approximately 89%, some 738,915 Americans, were charged with possession only. The remaining 90,710 individuals were charged with sale or manufacture, a category that includes all cultivation offenses, even those where marijuana was being grown for personal or medical use. In past years, roughly 30% of those arrested were age 19 or younger. Present policies have done little, if anything, to decrease marijuana's availability or dissuade youth from trying it, St. Pierre said, noting young people in the U.S. now frequently report that they have easier access to pot than alcohol or tobacco. 2 other major points stand out from today's record marijuana arrests. Overall, there has been a dramatic 188% increase in marijuana arrests in the last 15 years. Yet the public's access to pot remains largely unfettered, and the self-reported use of cannabis remains largely unchanged. Second, America's Midwest is decidedly the hotbed for marijuana-related arrests, with 57% of all marijuana-related arrests. The region of America with the least amount of marijuana-related arrests is the West, with 30%. This latter result is arguably a testament to the passage of various state and local decriminalization efforts over the past several years. The total number of marijuana arrests in the U.S. for 2006 far exceeded the total number of arrests in the U.S. for all violent crimes combined, including murder, manslaughter, forcible rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Annual marijuana arrests have nearly tripled since the early 1990s, and since Bill Clinton. Arresting hundreds of thousands of Americans who smoke marijuana responsibly needlessly destroys the lives of otherwise law-abiding citizens, St. Pierre said, adding that over 8 million Americans have been arrested in marijuana charges in the last 10 years. During the same time, arrests for cocaine and heroin had declined sharply, implying that increased enforcement of marijuana laws is being achieved at the expense of enforcing laws against possession and trafficking of more dangerous drugs. St. Pierre concluded, enforcing marijuana prohibition costs taxpayers between $10 billion and $12 billion annually, and has led to the arrest of nearly 20 million Americans. Nevertheless, some 94 million Americans acknowledge having used marijuana during their lives. It makes no sense to continue to treat nearly half of all Americans as criminals for their use of a substance that poses no greater, and arguably far fewer health risks than alcohol or tobacco. A better and more sensible solution would be to tax and regulate cannabis in a manner similar to alcohol and tobacco. Hear, hear. Cheers to the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws and Mr. Alan St. Pierre for this very, very fine article.
Got stickers.
Oakland County Norml does not endorse the random stickering of other people's property, both public and private. All rights reserved.
Welcome back. This is a story of local interest. It is in regard to the ongoing Michigan Coalition for Compassionate Care and their medical marijuana petition drive for the 2008 ballot. In the village of Clinton last weekend, they held their annual festival. The crowd was expected to be 90,000 people. Gersh Avery was there. He was petitioning. He said the people were warm and welcoming and signing when the police came up and arrested him. He was acting on his First Amendment right to petition and charged with solicitation, although petitioning for a change of laws is a constitutional right. He admits he was in the city borders, but stands his ground that he was legally exercising his rights. If convicted, he will have to pay $100 fines for each of the two charges. In a related story, Mr. Avery visited the local Clinton United Church of Christ on Sunday, September 30th, to talk to the pastor about the Michigan medical marijuana petition, and reports that the Clinton police again harassed him and told him to return his clipboards to his car before he could talk to the pastor of the church. And if they arrested him again that day, they would not return his clipboards until the trial date. This is a very strange occurrence, and the village of Clinton has some very serious allegations to answer. This is Mikey Evans. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's going to get dark. It's going to get ugly. The bad guys, those forces allayed against us, will do their utmost to hold on to their power. And the evil they will do to retain their power frightens me just to consider it. I hope you all have a good harvest season. I hope those who hunt get some deer. And I hope all my medical friends around the world, including Michelle Rainey, whose medicinal shirt I'm wearing today, are feeling better and get their medicine when they need it. Thank you, and let's get high.
You are watching